The male loneliness epidemic, how we got here and what to do about it. Here's something no one talks about. If you're a man reading this, think about the last time you told another man, not your partner, not your therapist, how you actually feel. Not, I'm good, mate. Not sports banter. I mean the real stuff. The loneliness, the feeling that you could disappear tomorrow and the only people who'd notice are the ones you pay bills for. If you can't remember, you're not broken. You're normal. And that's the problem. Let's rewind. When you were 8, you probably had a best friend. You'd sleep at each other's houses, share secrets, maybe even cry together. Nobody thought twice about it. Then, somewhere around 12 or 13, the rules changed. Boys don't do that. Toughen up. Man up. The emotional toolkit you've been building got locked in a box, and nobody gave you the key back. Here's what the research tells us. In 1999, only 3% of men reported having zero close friends. By 2021, that number hit 15%. 1 in 6 men. No one to call when things fall apart. Not one person. And it's not because men don't want connection. It's because we built a culture that tells men the only acceptable way to connect is through achievement, competition, or alcohol. Think about it. When do men typically hang out? Work, sport, the pub. All structured, all with a built-in reason that isn't, I need you. Women will call a friend and say, I'm struggling. Men will text the group chat, a sports meme. Both are reaching out, but only one is actually being heard. Now here's where it gets dangerous. When men lose romantic relationships through breakup, divorce, or never forming one, many of them lose their entire emotional support network because they'd outsourced all of it to one person. She wasn't just a partner, she was their therapist, their best friend, their only safe space. That's not love, that's emotional life support. And when that's gone, the loneliness doesn't just hurt. It metastasizes like cancer. The stats are staggering. Lonely men are more likely to die of heart disease, more likely to develop cognitive decline, more prone to substance abuse. Loneliness carries the same health risk as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. This isn't soft science. This is a public health emergency, wearing a masculine mask. So what happens when millions of men are lonely, have no language to express it, and no one to express it to? They go online. And the internet is waiting for them with open arms and a sales pitch. The red pill, the black pill, the alpha male grifters. They're not selling ideology. Well, they kind of are. They're selling belonging. They're selling the first experience many of these men have had of someone saying, I see you. I know you're in pain. Here's why, and here's who to blame. That's powerful. And it's a trap because blaming women, blaming feminism, blaming society, that's not connection. That's the loneliness wearing an angry costume. The feeling underneath hasn't changed. You're still the guy with no one to call. You've just joined a group that collectively agreed not to talk about it. The incel community, the manosphere, these aren't movements. They're symptoms. They're what happens when a generation of men are told to be strong, told not to feel, and then left completely alone with their feelings. All right, so how do we fix this? I'm not going to give you 5 easy steps because this isn't easy. But here's what I know works from research, from coaching, and honestly from my own life. 1, name it, the loneliness. Out loud, to yourself first, if that's all you can manage. You cannot solve a problem you refuse to acknowledge. And I promise you, admitting you're lonely isn't weakness. It's the first act of courage. 2, stop outsourcing your emotional life to one person. If your partner is your only source of real connection, that's not a relationship. It's a hostage situation for both of you. She can't be your everything. No one can. And if you don't have a partner, well, that's fixable. And we will cover that in another video. Number 3, initiate one uncomfortable conversation. Text a mate. Not a meme, not banter, something real like, hey, I've been going through a rough patch. You free for a coffee? You'll be shocked at how often the response is, mate, me too. Men are waiting for permission. Be the one who gives it. 4, find your third place. Not home, not work. Somewhere you show up regularly and people know your name. A climbing gym, a woodworking class, a volunteer crew. Structured connection without the pressure of, let's talk about feelings. 5, get comfortable with being valued for who you are, not what you provide. This is the big one. A lot of men, myself included, have been conditioned to believe our worth lies in our usefulness. We're the provider, the fixer, the ATM. And when that's the only currency people accept from us, we start to believe it's all we've got. It's not. You have to be willing to show up as more than your function. Here's the truth no one in the manosphere will tell you. The opposite of loneliness isn't a girlfriend. It's not six-pack abs, a Lamborghini, or 10,000 followers. The opposite of loneliness is being known, really known, by people who show up for you even if you had nothing to offer them. That's terrifying for most men because it means being seen without the armor. But I'll tell you something. The armor is what's keeping you alone. If this hits home, I want you to do one thing before you scroll to the next video. Think of one person you've been pretending to be fine around and reach out, not with a meme, with the truth. That's it. That's the whole revolution. One honest conversation at a time. Good luck.